Parkers have evolved into one of Moncton, New Brunswick's most influential bands. Their melody-driven psych rock has helped the band forge a strong and loyal following throughout Eastern Canada.
We sat down with Remi, Cormier, and Errol Girvan to discuss the band's signature sound and upcoming album.
We started, me and Stefan, when we got out of university, just didn't want to fit in socially into the world, so we decided to start playing music, recruited as many people as we can, and just went from there.
Our other guitar player, originally Rob, decided to leave the band to do other things. Basically, I was playing guitar kind of on the side for fun, and I was the drummer at the time in the Parkers, so we tried it as a three-piece with me still on drums, and Remi said, well, you could switch to guitar. It's kind of easy to find a drummer like for anything, you know, like a guitar player for the style, not so much, but whatever. Derek from Monoxides, well, they were out in Ontario, and Remi asked them to find him a delay pedal. We had never tried anything weird like that, just, you know, distortion pedals, like the regular kind of loud band. So they brought him home one, and he was messing around with that, and it's, you know, it was really like a new thing. Like, it sounds great. Like, it's really, it's freaky. Like, it's a totally new open door for us or whatever. So then he was messing with that, writing songs with that in mind. And then we found Cam, who had just moved back from out of the city, who's an excellent drummer, and we were like, hey, he'd be great. Like, he's a very open-minded guy. So boom, right there, like within the space of, like, I'm sure less than 6 months, like we were like, you know, reborn in a way. Like, it was like we were done with the fast, loud, heavy stuff as the main part of our sound to kind of a dreamy, atmospheric thing. So all from Remi getting his first delay pedal, which we now own each 2 or 3 of.
I think it's just to keep it interesting for us. We all listen to different types of music too, so it all blends in together. Maybe too, like, changing sounds a little bit. It was maybe just a reaction a little bit to music going on at the time. It's, you know, as a band, I think if you're trying to be a progressive band, you want to try to stay ahead of the curve and try to keep it interesting for listeners.
The evolution just kind of happens anyway. Like, you evolve with your listening tastes, and then I guess, like, for us, that's going to come out with our sound. And I mean, it's very gradual though, because, you know, you have a sound and then you kind of, like, you know, oh, okay, I want to try this out a little bit. And we're not the most gifted musicians in town, so that's why maybe it takes a little bit longer, because, you know, we've got to learn how to play that way.
With city music, we went into that. We just wanted to throw everything in. Like, to me, it's a pleasantly noisy album. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's, like, the main song, but in the background there's a lot of these bloops and bleeps and a lot of feedback and stuff like that. And I think a lot of that stuff comes from influences we had when we were young. I remember the first Mercury Rev album, Your Self-Esteem. That album really touched me, and if anybody's heard that album, they've got a lot of stuff going on. You know, My Bloody Valentine was I think something that inspired us a lot for that album. With the new one, I just kind of feel like it's a little more raw. Would you say it's more raw, more anthems kind of thing? We can more, like, sing along some of the songs. I find that's the way I feel about it.
It's a more live record for sure. I mean, city music did take us over a year of, you know, just kind of screwing with and adding stuff and whatever. But Yeah, I mean that was kind of like Remi said, that's kind of what the kind of goal was just kind of getting some interesting things on there and something different.
I remember going into this new album, like talking to you and saying, you wanted the drums to be different, you wanted maybe something a little more straightforward.
Right. Yeah. Not so much different, but different for us, meaning like the drums are like more dry and like live and not really touched and more present in the mix. Being like, I just thought like that kind of makes the recording a little less. I hate to say cheapened, but like when they're buried in reverb or effects or whatever, you get like it's hard to explain, but like it's just a live sound, and I really dig that.
But it really did make for a different album, though. If you do listen to both albums, they're very different. And I think that's really cool we were able to do that. I mean, it's I think for a lot of bands it might be hard to write a different album. I think we can actually say from these last two albums we really made an effort to make a different album. For the last album, I remember like going downstairs to record the lyrics and putting some finishing touches on lyrics as I was going downstairs. This one here, pretty much had everything down, so it kind of made for a couple little places here and there. Mostly the album was actually, in my mind, was all written lyrically, so that made a difference too.
We're not moved by your speech, but you don't care. You see the light, it showed you every single fight you'd win. But you know me, I'm a fool, so don't despair. Yeah, don't feel weak, cause we've got lots of dying skin to peel before we reach your soul. We reach your soul. How you guys all doing tonight?
You got to know what you're looking for, and you know how to justify what kind of money you're after and like how much or whatever. So like, I mean, it's not our forte, and like we actually have enlisted some help in the past, and we've never gone that route though. We've never had any outside funding.
I was gonna say it's so hard. We've never done it. Yeah,
it's complicated. It's some guys are great at it, our friends the divorcees. Like, I mean, geez, they're pros at that, and it's great. Like, awesome, do it because somebody's got to get that money, man. It's there. But I don't know if it's a combination of like lazy and dementia and yeah, well, that's one thing. I mean, friends of ours from Ontario called More Plastic, that band, they're no longer around, but one of our favorite things about being buddies with them was that we're both very DIY ethic, and I mean, that's gonna sound really punk, but in a way, yeah, of course it is. But I mean, it's just kind of fun to have that much, 110% control of whatever you do.
We had a lot of great opportunities thrown our way, and whether we blew it out of the water ourselves or we just didn't have the time to do it. I mean, we've got offers to play like all these great festivals everywhere, and unfortunately we had to turn it down, and the odd record label. And I mean, it's hard for a record label to want to work with you, especially if you're not willing to tour very much. I mean, there's no record label that's going to put out 500 copies of an album, it's going to be 10 or 15, and if they can't move those units, so by fault of our own, we've missed some opportunities. But I mean, after 12 years, I mean, we're obviously not bitter about it. We still see enjoyment in playing in the Peter Parkers. We're lucky too. For us, it's because I can't remember the last time we booked a show. I mean, can you? The shows are always booked for us. We're lucky. We get bands that actually ask for us to tag along with their tours and stuff, and it's great. We've got shows till June, and we haven't even booked a friggin' show,
It's because we're old and those bands are still hungry. Because they're kids still.
Yeah. It's like playing with the Peter Parkers is like a merit badge.
This next song is called Make Up Party. We've got the all-night